My heart is in.
Alright, what's up, y'all? This is BoxingWave. This fight here is a big fight, okay? This is going to be on the first NBC card in March. Adrien Broner, John Molina will be on the undercard, okay? You got Keith Thurman against Robert Guerrero. Both of these fighters have a lot to prove in this fight right here, okay? Let me start off by saying, before I break the fight down, whoever goes into this fight mentally prepared has a good advantage, a good chance of winning this fight. Both of these fighters has to come, they can't just train, they have to come mentally prepared. When I say that, Keith Thurman's coming off of a win against Leonard Bundu. A lot of people were disappointed. They booed him after the fight was over, okay? Keith Thurman's the the knockout guy. Didn't get a knockout, okay? He boxed throughout the whole fight. He didn't engage like he normally does. You know, he dropped Bundu early, but outside of that early knockdown, he did a lot of lateral movement, a lot more than what we usually typically see from Keith Thurman, okay? The volume was low, and a lot of people just wasn't impressed, okay? People didn't know who Leonard Bundu was. They never heard of him, and Bundu didn't get engaged neither. I mean, he's just not that type of fighter. So it was a very boring matchup to a lot of people. It just wasn't, a lot of people just wasn't impressed, and he got booed and criticized for his performance, all right? A lot of people thought he was overrated, all right? I've seen a lot of things. You know, Keith Thurman shut him out. He pretty much shut him out for 12 rounds. I don't think he's overrated because he shut a guy out for 12 rounds and didn't knock him out. It's just that Bundu has a style, very tricky style, funny movement, you know, his rhythm, his feints, the fact that he could fight on both stances. It was a tricky fight. Keith Thurman was very cautious in this fight, more cautious than he usually was, and hopefully mentally he doesn't go into this fight thinking that, all right, I gotta get a knockout. You know, I don't want to get booed. I want to impress the fans. You gotta win first. You gotta rely on your tactics first, and find a way to win a fight like he normally does, okay? And he did it that fight. You're not gonna get a knockout every fight. Let the knockout come like he normally does, okay? Soto Karass, he fought a very strategic fight until the knockout came, okay? He needs to do the same thing he did with Diego Chavez, all right? As far as Robert Guerrero, he needs to come into this fight mentally, you know, prepared. You know, a lot of people has given him a lot of slack since he fought Mayweather, and that's the outcome of a lot of Mayweather opponents, you know. A lot of people didn't want to see that fight. I know I didn't. You know, a lot of people didn't think Guerrero belonged in the ring with Mayweather, regardless of him being Andre Berto or whatever. You know, it seemed like guys like Victor Ortiz and Robert Guerrero were guys that was coming off of wins against Andre Berto, and they got a shot at Floyd Mayweather automatically. Didn't really prove themselves in the division that much up until, you know, they fought Floyd Mayweather. Robert Guerrero is a very good fighter, okay? He is a top 10 welterweight. He's skilled, you know, he's experienced. People just didn't think he belonged in the ring with Floyd Mayweather that night, and he was an easy opponent. And ever since that fight, he hasn't been active, okay? He's only had one fight, and that was against Yoshihiro Kamigai, in a fight where he took a lot of damage. He won, but he took a lot of damage. It was a slugfest between the two of them. And it was entertaining to watch, but he took a lot of damage in that fight, and he just didn't impress boxing fans with that fight. So he has a lot to prove too in this fight, because this fight here, he's fighting a top prospect, all right? One of the top prospects in boxing today, one of the rising stars in boxing. So he has a lot to prove here. So mentally, these guys got to come in. You know, they're coming in, they're really challenging themselves here, and they got to come in mentally prepared. Plus, Robert Guerrero actually turned this fight down with Keith Thurman. So hopefully he's confident that he can win this fight without being too overconfident or being fearful and of Keith Thurman, all right? So basically, Keith Thurman, I think Keith Thurman's the better boxer between the two. Okay, he is the harder puncher. He is the natural welterweight. He's not bigger than Guerrero, but he's the more natural welterweight. Okay, I think he has the athleticism, the speed, the punch power, just the technique, the defensive skills. He's the lateral movement. I think overall he has the overall better boxing ability between the two. But he doesn't have the opposition that he hasn't faced the opposition that Guerrero has fought. Okay, Guerrero seems to be very durable. Okay, I don't know. You have to really see how durable Keith Thurman is. We see him get hurt with a shot here and there, but we haven't really seen him down. We haven't seen him lose any fights. He doesn't get hit that much. Robert Guerrero does get hit a lot. Okay, Keith Thurman is gonna have to go with the same game plan that he usually does. He's gonna have to box this guy. Okay, he can make adjustments. He's fighting a southpaw now. Okay, I seen him. I heard an interview with him in 78 Sports TV. He was speaking how he's fought southpaws before. He's trained with them before. Bundu was a guy that switched from southpaw to orthodox throughout the fight. Okay, he doesn't think it's a big deal to him. He's actually going to be preparing and sparring fighting southpaw. He's going to actually better his skills at fighting southpaw as well. So while he's in there with Guerrero, he's going to switch to southpaw at times. I don't think he's going to be as good as a southpaw. I mean, we've seen him do it before, but it was only momentarily. You know, he knocked down Bundu, but he was only fighting in the southpaw stance momentarily. Guerrero has been fighting that way his whole career. Okay, so I don't think he's going to be as good, but still, it could cause some confusion because there's a lot of southpaws that's not good at fighting southpaws in the ring. So I think it's good that he's going to have, he can make adjustments, you know. I'm sure at points he's going to square with Guerrero, okay. Like I said, I think Guerrero is he's pretty durable, okay. He hasn't fought a puncher like Keith Thurman before, though. Okay, so even though he seems to be durable, I don't know how durable he's going to be against a guy that's going to punch as hard as Keith Thurman, especially a precise puncher like Keith Thurman, all right? He's very fast. You don't see a lot of punches coming. He's good at counters. You know, I'm not sure. So Keith Thurman is going to have to keep he's going to have to fight an intelligent fight. Be defensive, use his lateral movement, okay? Don't fight on the inside with Guerrero. Stay off the ropes, all right? Guerrero, that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to keep the pressure with Keith Thurman. I think early on in the fight, he's going to try to box with him a little bit, you know, from the outside, because Guerrero is a pretty good boxer from the outside. But I don't think he's as skilled as Thurman. I don't think he hits as hard as Thurman. What he needs to do is close the distance, make it a rough fight. He fights better on the inside than Keith Thurman, okay? So he's going to have to be on the inside. Do Thurman like the way he did Bertle, all right? Try to get Thurman against the ropes. Try to cut off the ring. You know, if Thurman starts using a lot of lateral movement, cut off the ring. He's going to have to be very aggressive, be very physical with Thurman, all right? We don't see too many fighters doing that because they're intimidated by Thurman's punching power. He's going to have to close the distance, not give a lot. Don't give Thurman any room, okay? Don't give him any space, you know? Grab him, rough him up, grab an arm if he can. Hit him with that free arm. These are some of the tactics that Guerrero did against Andre Berto. This is why he won that fight with Andre Berto, because he made it a very physical fight. He did not give Berto any room. Berto is not as good as moving as Keith Thurman, in my opinion. Okay, he's very athletic, but he's not good defensively like Thurman. He doesn't move as well as Thurman, and I don't think he hits as hard as Keith Thurman. Okay, so this is gonna be a tough fight for Guerrero. I think if he makes it physical and smothers Thurman, he has a good shot. Okay, maybe we could see that Thurman doesn't have a chin. Maybe he could possibly land a good shot against Thurman that could hurt him. You know, maybe he could get him out of there. But outside of that, I don't really see Guerrero winning this fight, especially by points. Okay, I see Thurman winning this fight by decision. I don't think he's gonna knock him out. Okay, I think the tougher the opponents that Thurman face, it's gonna be harder to knock some of these guys out, especially in the welterweight division, because this is like the most competitive division in boxing today. I think it's going to be tough for him to knock out Guerrero because of what we've seen. Guerrero is very durable. If he is to knock out Guerrero or stop him, I'll be very impressed with that. But based on what I've seen, I think Thurman should be able to outbox him for the majority of the fight, winning rounds 8-4, maybe 9-3, out of the round. So I think it should be a unanimous decision win for Keith Thurman. But with that being said, if someone is going to pull off the upset, it could be Robert Guerrero. Compared to everyone else that Thurman has faced up to this point, Guerrero has the best chance of pulling off the upset. All right, because of his experience and his power and his durability and stuff like that. All right, so anyway, that's the video. Make sure you subscribe and leave comments for the video. All right, peace.